Hello friends, myself Dr. Puhumi. Welcome to our channel Homeopathy The Healing Power. Friends, in today's video, let's study homeopathic medicine Ferrum Phosphoricum. Friends, Ferrum Phos is one of the organic tissue salt and it is very necessary for growth, development, metabolism, energy and regeneration of the human body. Ferrum is nothing but iron, and iron is an essential component of red blood cells, and its function is to provide oxygen to all parts of the body. Also friends, Ferrum Phos is one of the organic salt which is introduced by Dr. Schussler in his Schussler's 12 tissue remedy. So friends, without any further delay, let's start with the symptomatology and pathogenesis of Ferrum Phos. But friends, if you are visiting our channel for the first time and if you have not subscribed our channel till now, then subscribe the channel and press the bell icon and select option all so that you get notified whenever a new video is uploaded from Homeopathy The Healing Power. Like this video and share this video with your friends and batchmates. So let's get started. Ferrum Phos. Common name of this medicine is ferric phosphate. It was proved in homeopathy by Dr. J.C. Morgan, and it was also proved by Dr. Schussler in his 12 tissue remedies. Chemical formula Fe3PO42. Sphere of action. Friends, Ferrum Phos has its typical action on the relaxed state or relaxed condition, especially of blood vessels, muscle fibers and tissues of different parts of the body. It also acts on red blood cells. Pathogenesis. Friends, when Ferrum Phos acts on these relaxed blood vessels, then there is dilatation of these vessels. As a result of this, there is stasis of blood in these blood vessels. And friends, this is nothing but what we call it as hyperemia or congestion. And such state of hyperemia forms the first stage of inflammation. And friends, this internal inflammation is expressed externally in the form of swelling and redness of the affected part. There is also feeling of heat with pricking type of pain over the inflamed area. Constitution. Ferrum Phos is indicated in a tall, thin person with delicate skin. The skin is very delicate and transparent. There is severe congestion of the veins with cold extremities. Ferrum Phos patient is very plethoric with rapid growth but gets easily exhausted on least exertion. Temperament. Ferrum Phos patient has sanguineous and nervous temperament. Diathesis. Ferrum Phos patient have hemorrhagic and rheumatic diathesis. Now friends, let's start with the symptomatology of Ferrum Phos. Friends, let's start with the first and most important keynote symptom of Ferrum Phos, and that is Ferrum Phos is a first remedy required in every acute illness. As we have seen in the pathogenesis itself that Ferrum Phos produces inflammation. So friends, this is the remedy required whenever there is inflammatory state in the body. So Ferrum Phos is useful in the first stage of inflammation in every diseases before the exudation sets in. For example friends, there are certain conditions like tonsillitis, conjunctivitis, acute condition like cold coryza, fever in its first stage, otitis, earache. Whatever may be the disease, if Ferrum Phos is prescribed in the first stage of all these conditions, it will give the magical results. Friends, the second most important and very useful symptom in Ferrum Phos is hemorrhages. Yes friends, Ferrum Phos is one of the best medicine useful in hemorrhages from different orifices of the body. There are certain conditions like hematemesis, hemoptysis, epistaxis or bleeding from the wounds. And here the blood is bright red in color. Ferrum Phos, if used in this condition, will stop the bleeding immediately and relieve the symptoms. Now friends, let's start with the headache. Ferrum Phos is useful whenever headache is caused due to heat of sun and exposure to the cold air. Ferrum Phos is indicated whenever the headache is right-sided and there is pain from vertex to supraorbital region. There is heaviness feeling in the head with hammering type of pain, and this pain is increased by motion, by bending forward and by noise, and patient feels better by cold application and lying down. During headache there is a concomitant symptom, and that is there is redness of the eyes and face, and patient feels heat feeling in the face. Now let's start with the eye complaints of Ferrum Phos. Ferrum Phos is a useful medicine in the cases of acute conjunctivitis. It is also useful in the cases like hyperemia of optic disc and congestion of retina. There is swelling and redness in both the eyes seen. Patient feels irritation with burning sensation in the eyes. And friends, here there is one of the important keynote symptom which patient explains, and that is patient has a sensation as if grains of sands were in the eyes. So there is a constant desire to rub the eyelids. All these complaints are ameliorated by cold application, and complaints are increased by moving the eyes. Ears. Friends, Ferrum Phos is useful whenever there is swelling of the ear. That is nothing but acute otitis. There is pain in ear with severe swelling of the tympanic membrane. The pain is thrombing type of pain. The pain is so severe with hot feeling and burning sensation in the ear. Friends, Ferrum Phos is the best medicine indicated whenever belladonna fails in the cases of acute otitis. Ferrum Phos is also useful medicine whenever there is earache and tinnitus after exposure to the cold air. Now friends, let's start with the respiratory symptoms of Ferrum Phos. Let's start with the nose symptoms. Ferrum Phos is useful medicine in the cases of first stage of cold coryza. Patient suffers from severe sneezing and nasal blockage. There is watery discharge from nose. And friends, here the cause of coryza is due to cold environment or exposure to the cold air. Also, there are certain conditions like predisposition to catch the cold, and here Ferrum Phos is useful. Friends, if here at this stage Ferrum Phos is prescribed, then it will stop the process of coryza. The process gets end at this stage only, and the patient will be prevented from further infection that he may suffer. Ferrum Phos is also useful in the cases of epistaxis, that is nothing but bleeding from the nose. Now friends, let's start with the chest symptoms of Ferrum Phos. Ferrum Phos is useful in acute stage of all inflammatory diseases of respiratory tract like bronchitis and pneumonia. Ferrum Phos is indicated whenever there is congestion of lungs. Patient suffers from cough due to exposure to the cold air, and there is cough with fever. Tickling sensation in the throat is felt before cough, and there is severe pain in the chest after coughing. Patient feels difficulty in breathing while coughing, and these complaints are especially aggravated at night. Friends, here there is a keynote symptom which we must always remember while prescribing Ferrum Phos to the patient, and that is the cough is dry, but there is expectoration of blood whenever patient suffers from pneumonia. Now, let's start with the gastrointestinal symptoms of Ferrum Phos. Friends, Ferrum Phos is useful in the cases of first stage of gastritis. There is swelling and pain in the stomach region. And on palpitation, friends, you can feel the tenderness at the stomach region. Vomiting of undigested food, and the vomiting sometimes is mixed with blood, that is nothing but hematemesis. There are sore eructations with heaviness feeling in the abdomen. Friends, Ferrum Phos is useful medicine in the cases of first stage of dysentery. Whenever the stool is watery and it contains mucus with large amount of blood. Friends, Ferrum Phos is also useful in the cases of bleeding piles. There is severe swelling with pricking type of pain, and there is bleeding while passing the stool. In severe and chronic cases of piles, patient suffers from constipation and prolapse of rectum. Now friends, let's start with the urinary symptoms of Ferrum Phos. Ferrum Phos is indicated in the cases of incontinence of urine, especially due to weakness of the sphincter. There is constant desire to pass the urine. It is also useful medicine in the cases of cystitis, and here there is passing of blood in the urine, that is nothing but what we call hematuria. This especially is seen in the cases of urinary tract infection. All these urinary complaints are aggravated by standing continuously for long time and while passing the urine, and patient feels better after passing the urine. Ferrum Phos in rheumatism. Ferrum Phos is indicated whenever the cause of rheumatism is due to exposure to the cold air or due to cold environment. Ferrum Phos is useful in the cases of articular rheumatism, especially of right side of the body, and mostly the right shoulder joint and the right deltoid muscle are affected. There is stiffness with difficulty in movement. There is swelling with pain, and this pain is aggravated especially by moving the joint and at night, and patient feels better by application of warmth. Along with this pain, there is stiffness and pain in the back, and this pain is of stitching type of pain, and this pain is aggravated at night. After sitting continuously for a long time and lying down, and patient feels better by application of warmth. Friends, we have already seen that Ferrum Phos is just like a polycrust remedy. It acts on each and every part of the body, and it is used in majority of diseases. So we must not forget the use of Ferrum Phos in anemia. Ferrum Phos is a well-known medicine, and it is known as iron tonic in homeopathy. Long and continued use of this medicine increases the Hb concentration of the body. So it can be useful in the cases where the children are weak with loss of weight, loss of appetite, and with low strength. Also in cases of women during pregnancy, in the cases of old age persons, to increase their strength, stamina, and maintain the energy level of the body. Ferrum Phos in fever. Friends, Ferrum Phos is a very good medicine useful in the cases of inflammatory fever like rheumatic fever, typhoid fever, or fever of gastric origin, or whenever there is fever along with the appendicitis. Here there is one of the peculiar symptom, and that is there is severe chill with rigors with rapid pulse, and this chill occurs every day at 1 p.m. Time modality is one of the keynote symptoms while selecting Ferrum Phos in the cases of fever. After chill stage, there is severe body ache and profuse sweat. During fever, there is vomiting of food. Patient also suffers from feeling of heat in the palms, face and throat during fever. So friends, this was the detailed video on homeopathic as well as biochemic medicine Ferrum Phos. We have covered each and every symptom and tried to explain it in a very simple and easy way to remember. Like this video, share this video with your friends, colleagues and batchmates. Subscribe the channel. Meet you soon. Thank you for watching.